What the hell is this? What's up, brothers and sisters? Want to tap in and say what's up to everybody? See how everybody's doing, how everybody's been. Welcome to Live with Jay, number 90. I think it's number 1996, ain't it? It's 99. It's 99. It's 99, brother. I think this is number. I don't know. I'm a little. Yeah, number 96. Puro 21, it said. What's up, brother? I'm Puro 21. I'm 21 years old. Hear that? Gee. I'm just, hey, can I comment on your New York tour? You think you can do a tour of Fremont? Where's Fremont Hoods at? Throw some. I stopped doing the what's up, Ron Garcia? The barrio tours a long time ago. I said I wasn't gonna do them no more. But if I get a lot of people that want me to do them again, maybe I'll get back into them. But I stopped doing them for a long time. They are successful, though. I'll give them that. Um, but I just stopped doing them a long time ago. You know, what's up with everybody? I like my hairdo. I haven't grown my hair out this long in a long time. Who? Who's the Marano? Are you a Marano? Irvington? I know where Irvington is. Maybe. I'll see. I stopped doing barrio tours a long time ago, bro. I haven't done barrio tours in almost 2 years. The last one I did was in Pittsburgh, California. Whenever that was my last barrio tours. But yeah, man, I've been doing this for you're a Marrano, you know what the Spaniards call Marranos, right? Probably don't know that history. I'd be surprised if you do. But yeah, man, I've been doing this for 21 years and not necessarily Oakland Latinos as a YouTube channel. As a YouTube channel, it's been about 15 years probably now. Let me see. Damn, it's been about 17 years I've been doing this. You look like magic with the hairdo. So yeah, I've been doing this since about 2007, 6. But Oakland Latinos United, which didn't have a name, but I just pretty much say it started in 2003, which was 21 years ago. It's because that was the year when I really nerded out on history. I was really big into history. I'd always been into history, but I really was nerding out into history. And I was reading a lot about Chicano history at the time, and I was kind of like, you know, did she who she lose to? But but at the time in 2004, I was not 2003. I'm sorry. I was really nerding out in a lot of history. I was reading a lot of Chicano history, a lot of Bay Area history, and I always noticed that there wasn't really much about Raza history in Oakland or the Bay Area at that. And I began to wonder why. Why our history is not documented in the Bay Area. And I took it upon myself that year to start researching, to start, you know, going to the library in Oakland and asking at the Oakland History Room, getting different resources, talking to different people. I mean, different references, talking to people at UC Berkeley, talking to elders in the community. And it took me on this journey. And that's when I really believe that Oakland Latinos United as a project started. Because the project was originally, I wanted to maybe, um, since I wanted to write a book at the time. And who knows, maybe I'll write a book now. But I wanted to write a book, but then what changed the game was when MySpace came out. And that was about 2006, 5, 6. And I remember somebody else was doing something about Oakland history. And I thought that was kind of dope on MySpace. I had never seen that. I had never seen nobody create a page for history. And and uh, uh, and uh, uh, and I was like, damn, that's pretty dope. What if I could put all that info I've been researching into into MySpace? And I just did it. I tested it out. I called it Oakland Latinos United, and I've told the story before. The Latinos United came from an organization that existed at one point in Oakland's history. It was one of the first Chicano anti-police brutality organizations in the 1960s, called Oakland Latinos United for Justice. I think it was called Latinos United for Justice, but I think it was, some people called it Oakland Latinos United for Justice. And I was like, a pretty dope name, Oakland Latinos United, and that's where I got the name. You know what I mean? That's where the name came from. And I've actually met since then. I've met some of the members, uh, some of the members of that group, and I told them that this is named after that movement. But anyway, yeah, I began documenting Oakland history, Chicano history, and I began using it on that MySpace page, and then basically around the time, once MySpace started fading out, Facebook started getting popular. So I transferred it and made it a Facebook page, and the Facebook page blew up. It's still popular. I probably have just as many or more subscribers or followers on Facebook than I do on here on IG or Facebook or YouTube. Um, did I have a font? Yeah, I did. I had a few things. I can't remember what I did have a background pic, but I can't remember what it was. Um, I had a lot of old pictures, bro, rare pictures at the time. Some that I don't have anymore. But I think that page really educated a lot of people on the Chicano history of Oakland and the Bay Area. And I got tired of people saying, "Oh, there's no Mexican history in Oakland. There's no raza in Oakland." Like, well, fuck, I'm from Oakland. My family's from Oakland. We're raza, so I don't understand how we can't have a history. And then I know families who have been here for hella long. So how is it we can't have a history here? So I'm not, me, I go against the grain. I don't give a shit what people say. You know what I mean? Did you vote? No, I didn't vote today, bro. People use your Facebook page as a classified. One of them they tried, bro. I had a group, Julio Solorio, called Oakland Latinos United. It's still there, and I don't use it as much. But for a while, it was public, and they were trying to use it like a classified. I had to fucking erase and block hella people from it, and then turn it private. But my original page, Oakland Latinos United, only I can post on it, so nobody can really post on it except me. People can send me messages and stuff, but yeah, man. So that's where it started, bro. You know, I think, history is important, bro, and people need to learn the historical past of people because that's how how can I say, fake misunderstandings or like false information gets pushed, especially on us, bro, because we're the punching bag for a lot of people, unfortunately. And it's easy for people to say, "Oh, well, we don't have a history here because we're these immigrants that just got here," but that's not true at all. Most people forget that California is a Spanish name, and California used to be part of Mexico and Spain at one point, and it used to be Native American before that. And our history is deep here, whether it be in Oakland or in whatever part of California. We've been here. So I don't, you know, there's people that haven't even been here 40 years, bro, and they want to talk. You know what I mean? So, it's like there. I know families who have been here since the early 20th century that are Rasa, bro. The early 20th century, you know how long ago that was? That was like a hundred and something years ago. You know what I mean? So yeah, I felt that that story had to be put out there. I felt it was important because if not, people are still going to push that narrative that we're these immigrants that just got here, and we don't have a history here and we don't have a say. And that's completely, even if we were these new immigrants here, we definitely have a say, regardless, you know what I mean? But we definitely have a deeper history than just being these new immigrants. It's funny because most of these motherfuckers saying that we're new immigrants are immigrants them damn selves or have or are descendants of immigrants. So it's funny how that works, huh? The Jacko was a native to tribe to Oakland. No, the Ohlone was a native tribe, son. It was the native tribe to your city as well, San Jose. The Ohlone tribe spanned all the way from Salinas all the way to I think Vallejo, bro. It was probably one of the biggest tribes in the Bay Area. You know, the same family that founded Oakland was part of the foundation of San Jose, the Peralta family. Look it up. Actually, one of the Peralta houses is still in San Pedro Square in San Jose. If you knew that, if you go to San Pedro Square in San Jose, the little adobe houses there, that's the Peralta house. And the Peralta house in Oakland is still in the Fruitvale area. What's up, Northbound? Just talking about the history of Oakland Latinos United. No, Mission San Jose was in Fremont. The San Jose was in Pueblito of San Jose. It was a small community. The first town that wasn't a mission was San Jose. The first it was the first secular town, as they called it at the time. You know what I mean? It wasn't a mission or a church town. What's up? The Miwoks, yeah, the Miwoks were more in Marin, the coastal Miwoks. But yeah, man, there's like a deep history here, and it's unfortunate that that history is not known and people don't talk about it, and it's not written by black, white, or raza historians here. It's just completely just left out of the picture a lot of times. So, you know, like I said, I like to push against the grain, and it's funny that there's these fools with doctorates and PhDs and all this stuff, bro, and none of them can do none of this research. But me, some poor barrio kid from the hood, can find out all this research before they do. And to me, that's amazing. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. But that's the reality, bro. And that's the reason why it started. Yep, Estudios. Yeah, that's true. Rancho San Leandro, which is where the name came from, the Estudio family. And yeah, I think maybe they're. Yeah, I think it was somewhere in that area where they lived. All these places. That's why they're called what they're called, because they were ranchos under the Mexican system. There were Mexican ranchos that were owned by the founders of some of the missions, of some of the military bases, some of the pueblitos like San Jose. So you had the Estudios, you had the Castros, which is where the name Castro District come from. You had the Peraltas, you had the Pachecos, you had a lot of families, and that's where those names come from. You know, Castro Valley, Don Castro. I forget Don Castro. I forget his name, but Don Castro and South San Francisco was called Booty Booty. That's why there's a liquor store in South San Francisco called Booty Booty. It was called Rancho Booty Booty, but not Booty. It was. I'll spell it in the comment. I don't know why it was called that. I don't know if that was an old Native American name, but it was called Rancho Booty Booty. Used to belong to Junipero Serra. I don't know if Junipero Serra was ever in Hayward. I know he was in San Francisco, Daly City, and in the Mission Dolores, which is where the Mission District is. But I know that Hayward was part of Don Castro's ranch. And that's where Castro Valley comes from. That's where the Castro district gets its name from. That's why there's names like Potrero. There's names like Ensenal. There's names like Alameda. There's names like San Leandro, San Lorenzo. You know what I mean? San Pablo, Pinole. You know, all those names, Martinez. All those names, man, come from the time when the Bay Area was part of Mexico and Spain. You know what I mean? The Mission District from Mission Dolores. How would Castro feel about what goes on in his neighborhood named after him? Everywhere, booty booty. Well, yeah, that's what San Francisco was called. It's called Booty Booty, and I bet you Northbound knows where the Booty Booty liquor store is. Market. Buri Buri, I guess is the way it was pronounced. I have no idea where that name came from. You know, I'm thinking it's maybe a Native American name, but don't quote me on that. I don't know if it was called Beta. Maybe after. I'm talking about before it became the United States. I'm talking about back when it was part of Mexico and Spain. You know, it was called Booty Booty. Hold on. I'll look it up right now. That's why we have Google. South San Francisco. Trust me, son. I did my research. Prior to European exploration, the northern San Francisco Peninsula was inhabited by the Raimutush and linguistic subgroup of the Ohlone people. The village of Urebure, I'm telling you, that's why it was called that, because it probably meant it was a native name. Their village was Urebure on San Bruno Creek. When visited by Gaspar Portola expedition in 1769, remains of the long-term inability of seasonal encampment had been examined at the Sipilqueen, I don't know what that means, and Buckeye Shell Mounds on the San Bruno Mountains. Hold on. Camino Real. So here it goes. The area, which is now South San Francisco, was part of Rancho Booty Booty, a large Mexican land grant to the Sanchez family, dating to 1827. So there you go. And it looks like that name originated, like I said, from Urebure, which is a Ohlone name. So there's some history. Booty. Talked about Shell Mound. Yeah, the Shell Mounds were everywhere, bro. You know your history, LZ. The Shell Mounds were in Emeryville. They were in Alameda, in Berkeley. Probably had some in Oakland too. But yeah, that was the name of South San Francisco. Look it up. But it looks like it was a native name. It looks like this was the original name. Urebure. I just put it in the comments. That's what I said, Booty Booty. That was probably a native name. It probably wasn't a Spanish name. Just like Sassoon. A lot of people don't realize that Sassoon was the name of a native tribe, Los Susunes, the Sassoon indigenous tribe. That's why that area is called Sassoon. Vallejo was the name of Mariano Vallejo, who was a large land grant owner. He had a rancho Soscol in Napa. He had a rancho in Petaluma, and he also had property in Sonoma, California. So his history runs deep out there. And the Sassoons, yes, the Sassoons, Chris Grima, were a native tribe from the Fairfield area. One of the big leaders was Francisco Solano, hence why it's called Solano County. You know what I mean? So now you know Francisco Solano. I don't know if you guys ever heard that name. Some say that his real name was Semieto, but his Spanishized name was Francisco Solano, which is the reason why Solano County is called Solano County. Now you know. And the rest is history. So yeah, all this history, bro, and I include the native history as well because our histories both collided with each other. Whether you know, so how can we be these immigrants that just got here when we've been here and we keep coming here and we're not going anywhere? YOLO, yeah, I would assume YOLO might be a native name. The Pakwin tribe, I think, was from out that way. But yeah, man. So that's why I started Oakland Latinos United, bro, because I wanted people to know not just Oakland's Latino and Native history, because I studied a lot of Native history too, but not just of the history here in Oakland, but everywhere else. So in Northern California, because when you talk about Raza, it's always just LA or Southern California. Let's be real. Like history books in California, when they talk about about Raza in California, they just talk about SoCal, which makes sense because it's closer to the border. You know what I mean? But we were out here too, bro. We've been making history up here, and I think it's fair that our history in the Bay Area and in Northern Califas is told as well. You know what I mean? That's why this exists. It has nothing to do with gangs. It has nothing to do with none of that. It has to do with we just want to be part of the historical narrative as well. Yeah, probably have some native bones on your property if you live in the Bay Area. Oh yeah, some Maloney bones. Puta Pass, yeah. Believe it or not, that's true. Shortcuts. If I don't know if you knew this, but in Vacaville there was a rancho under the Mexican system called Rancho Los Putos. Look it up if you don't believe me. And the founders of Vacaville, I think their last name was Cabeza de Vaca. That's why it's called Vacaville, which is a trippy ass last name. El Californio. Probably. There's probably Californio blood around here, bro. You know, they were in Richmond, San Pablo, El Sobrante area. Where do you think El Sobrante came from? That was a rancho too, Rancho El Sobrante. Puta Creek, exactly. Rancho Los Putos, Puta Creek, Puta Pass, that's all connected. I think I think it originates from a native word that the Spaniards and the Mexicans called it just puta because it sounded similar, which is fucked up, but I think that's what happened back then. You know what I mean? It's like in the Philippines. I think they have like a dessert called putos. But yeah, man, it's interesting the history you would discover in the Bay Area that's often not told. There's a lot of history here. Benicia was the wife of Mariano Vallejo. I think her name was Dominga Benicia. Benicia, hold on, let me see. I'll tell you right now. But Benicia was the wife of Mariano Vallejo. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. Benicia is named after Francisca Benicio Carrillo de Vallejo, commonly known as Doña Benicia, a California ranchera, member of the Carrillo family of California, and wife of General Mariano Vallejo, namesake for nearby Vallejo. So yeah, it was named after Vallejo's wife, Janine Benicio. Yeah, man, that's what I'm telling you, Northbound. Like it's crazy the history you find out in the Bay Area. You're like, wow, like why don't they ever tell us this? Why are Rasa history left out when we have such a deep history in this area? It's like it's a mystery to me, bro. And like I said, it's usually people who haven't even been here that long, bro, in California that are pushing this narrative a lot of times. You know what I mean? Like there's people that've been here forever, bro. So man, it's weird, bro. It's crazy. Yeah, I blame it on the whites, but I've also seen a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of historians who are raza, some who are black, some who are Asians that leave these stories out too. So I can't just blame the whites anymore, bro. Maybe in the past, for sure, it was the whites' faults, but since then, there's been a lot of people of color who could have researched this true, and they didn't give a fuck about researching any of this and left it out to push their own narratives. You know what I mean? So I can't really say it's just white people. Maybe in the past, yes, and even in the present too, for sure, because they still control the historical program. So yes, they are to blame, but there are plenty of historians that are raza, that are black, that are Asian or other races who also leave all these stories out and don't even care to document it because it doesn't fit their narrative of whatever they're writing about. So that's why me, if you notice, I don't leave anybody's history out. I include black history, I include Asian history, I include it all in my works. You know what I mean? But I definitely put an emphasis on our history. You feel me? So that's how it goes. Because I don't think it's cool to leave anybody out. I think we have to add everybody in order to make the history relevant. How did those people coincide? How did blacks and Latinos coincide? How did white and Latinos coincide in the Bay Area in the past? You know what I mean? Yeah, I've had a couple of professors get mad for correcting them for sure. And I had some guys shocked, like, wow, I never knew any of this. So I've had both, you know. So yeah, man, that's the reason I did this, bro. That's the reason Oakland Latinos United was created. Yeah, Julio Solorio, California's history started more like 1848, but yeah, 1849 is about it. And and that's basically what I would consider Anglo California history or white California history started. Because before that it was Mexico, and before that it was Spain, and before that it was part of the Native Americans. Only in the East Bay, blacks and Latinos coincide? Not necessarily. I would say in Northern California, probably the East Bay and Sacramento and San Francisco, for sure, are places where blacks, and maybe Stockton too, to a degree, are places where blacks and Latinos coincided. But in South Central, Compton, and those areas, blacks and Latinos have coincided. In Texas as well, in New York, in Chicago. Hey, Scott the Warrior. I've been slowly the origins of Valley Town, and yeah, a lot of Valley Towns got history too, bro. You know, like how did Merced and Sacramento and all those names came to be? You know, but yeah, man, that's the history of the Bay Area. The history is very complex, and everyone has a stake in it, bro. You know, the unfortunate part is that we play the black and white thing way too much in California. And California is not just black and white. It's not like we're in the South, man. California, Mexicans have always been here. Native Americans have always been here. Um, Chinese, Asians have always been here. They've been here as well for a long time. So, you know what I mean? We can't say that California is only black and white, unfortunately. I know some people want to push that narrative, but that's a narrative that's very hard to push in the state. Even in Oakland, even a city where it's considered a black city, people want to look at it as black and white. But Oakland's history is so much more complex than that. If you really, really, really get to read Oakland's history and know it, you know what I mean? So it's yeah, that's why I do this, bro, because I like to bring out those complexities because it's not just black and white. What do you mean inland in California, or you mean or you mean in outside of the United States? Probably northbound, especially now. A lot of Asians too, bro. There's a lot of Asians in California, but yeah, a lot of Latinos, Raza. We're probably the biggest minority for sure now. Uh, I would say it depends how much inland, because I mean, we're the Bay Area, we're pretty inland, bro, and there's everything is in Spanish around here, damn near, like the names. Um, I think once you pass the Bay Area, past Sonoma, past Santa Rosa, yes, I will agree. Like once you start going towards Ukiah, Humboldt, up that way, yes, you start seeing less Spanish names. Because you got to remember, the Spaniards didn't go that far. You know what I mean? They only went as far as like Sonoma and Santa Rosa, and past that, you know what I mean? You don't really see too many Spanish names. You might see a few, but not a lot for sure. You know, you'll see a lot of native names, like Ukiah, I think is a native name. Fairfield, like I said, that area, the Sassoon people, bro, that was their area. That's why there's a town called Sassoon. Victorville? I don't think I've ever been to Victorville. Where's Victorville at? That's SoCal? I don't know where it's at, bro. What's up, Sinaloa? Damn, it's been a long time since I've seen you. How you been? Hopefully everything is good in Culichi Town. But yeah, man, that's why I do this, Oakland Latinos United. And I've been doing it, and I'm probably gonna keep on doing it to the damn in the grave, bro. I ain't stopping. Towards San Bernardino. Yeah, man. Look in Southern California, like everything is damn near in Spanish because it's closer to the border. I mean, especially when you go past Orange County, it seems like everything is in Spanish. The names, you know what I mean? But even in the Bay Area, if you look at the Bay Area, there's a lot of things named in Spanish up here, bro. You know what I mean? There's a lot of places that have Spanish names. San Mateo, San Francisco, you know what I mean? San Bruno, you know, all those names. Shoshone. From Sacramento to San Diego. Yep. I went to the nastiest pizza bar in Santa Ana. So you mean Santa Ana in Southern California? Those baños, yeah. I wonder why they call it those baños. Was that where the Spaniards used to use the toilet? John Fremont, yeah, he was one of the invaders of California when it was part of Mexico. What's up, BJ Santana? How you been, bro? My Dominican brother, Albuquerque. I think Albuquerque, that might be a Spanish name. Los Baños is called that because there used to be waterfalls. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I never really knew why it was called that. Kind of like Calistoga. You know, that place was famous because of the hot springs. BJ Santana. When are you going to the DR again, bro? Shit, take me. I want to go. I'll go out there. What do they call girls? Jevas. Quiero ir a conocerme una jeva. Y bailar merengue y bachata. But yeah, man, Mercedes named after someone called Lady of Merced. Yeah, that's true. Palo Alto too, you know. Santa Clara, you know, all those names, bro. In the Bay Area, when paisas or people from other countries, Violet Myers, what the fuck? I don't know who that is. Myers, how's she Mexican? Myers is a Jewish last name. Eh? Santa Carla too, Santa Cruz, Santa Cruz. Yeah, man. Salinas too. I think Salinas was the name of a tribe or something like that. I was told. But yeah, man. PJ, a Mexican porn star, huh? That'd be an interesting conversation. Anything for Salinas. Sure, why not? I'll interview a porn star if they want to be interviewed. That'd be some random questions I'd be asking. Campbell, Campbell. There's also a Temescal. That's another name that you find in Oakland. And Temescal was the name of the sweat lodges that the Native Americans would do because it has sureños. I know. The history of porn. Big Caesar is named after sureños. Big Sud. Yeah, it's a random ass name, Big Sud. Ahorita. 51st Locos. Yeah, many years ago. Were they sureños or norteños? No, 54th Locos were sureños. Were norteños. 51st might have been norteños. Big Norte. Really? From Argentina? That's a trip. The Donkey Show. Was that ever a real thing? The Donkey Show. Two girls, one cup. I never seen that shit. I heard of it though. Let's talk about history. People, people, people always argue with me on this one. Uh, that was hella random. People, people argue with me on this one. Let's talk about because someone says anything for Selena's. Selena, I always tell people. I think I said this before that Selena. I don't remember her being as famous in California when she was alive compared to after she died and the movie came out. I do remember her becoming popular, and I do remember seeing her on TV a lot, especially on Spanish TV, but most people didn't know who she was that I could remember, especially English speaking people. They didn't know who the hell she was. But uh but I don't remember her being as popular when she died. Maybe in Texas she was, but here in California at least. Like yeah, she was known and yeah, Latinos knew who she was, but I don't remember her being as famous as afterwards. That's just my take. And I'm for sure I know like black people and white people didn't know who she was back then, unless maybe there were black or whites that grew up around Latinos. But I don't know. I remember at the time when she died, Easy E died around the same time, so that was more on the news. I remember Banda was more popular then. I remember Banda was like what you would hear more on like Mexicans listening to Banda. I don't really remember them bumping Selena much. So I just feel that her popularity uh, was more, especially after the movie, but after she died. I could be wrong, but and I'm not saying she wasn't famous in California, but she wasn't as famous as maybe now. I think she was just barely starting to get recognition in California at that time. Maybe in Texas it was different because in Texas she already had more of a following. Put in the comments, those of you who were alive back then, what do you think? And I'm not talking about Selena's fame after her death or the movie. I'm talking about before 1995. I was thinking about that because the topic of Selena has been coming up a lot lately. So I was curious. She tried to holler one time but didn't know who she was. Who did? You was 8. Damn, I was when Selena died, I want to say between 17 or 18. I think I was 17 still. She tried to holler at you for Salinas. Did she ever come to Oakland or the Bay Area? I always wondered that. If there's any proof out there that she ever came to the Bay Area. Does anybody know if Selena ever came to the Bay Area? Like Oakland, San Francisco, San Jose? I don't remember her. She definitely never been to Sacramento because I was staying in Sacramento. I'm trying to remember when Selena died. Was I back in the Bay Area? Because Selena died early 1995, and I came back to the Bay Area early 1995. So, it's a tough one. I can't remember. 48th. I knew some fools that got trees on 48. I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to think when Selena died, where did I live? Did I live here or did I live at Sac? Because that was roughly around the time I moved back to the Bay Area when Selena died. I might have already been back. I think. I can't remember, bro. I can't remember where I was when Selena died. I might have already been in transition. I know it doesn't sound right, transition. I think I was. I can't remember. I can't remember where I was because I kind of remember being in Sac, but then I kind of remember being in the Bay. So it could be possible that I was already moving when she died. You know what I mean? I was like in transition from the Bay to Sac, from the Sac to the Bay. I mean, because I remember, uh, I remember transition. Santana. All right, all the transition jokes are coming out. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, that was around the time that I left Sacramento and I came back to the Bay Area. So I can't remember exactly where I was at. I want to say, because I kind of remember being in Sac when she died, but then I kind of remember being here, if that makes sense. So like I said, I might have been moving at the time when she died. Because I remember that was around the same time again. Easy E died too. Like an egg rolls from Jack in the Box. Did they have egg rolls that far back? I don't remember. Weren't they called finger foods? Remember that? Jack in the Box? That's what they used to list them as, finger foods, if I remember right. They had egg rolls. They had chicken tenders. They had like different little foods. They were good too. Cholo and the Doves, the Murders. I remember there was one finger food that people don't remember. It was called the Pizza Pocket. You remember that one? They sold it for hella long. It was like a little empanada with pizzas, with pepperoni and pizza sauce and cheese in it. It was hella good. We used to get those all the time. You remember those short? Or anybody out there remember those? They used to sell them in Jack in the Box back in the 90s. They were called Pizza Pockets. They sold them in Oakland and they sold them in Sac too. I remember getting them. They looked like a little empanada, and they used to have like red sauce, pepperoni, and cheese in them, and the motherfuckers were good. I remember pizza taco. That was back in the days. That was a long time ago. But that had to have been, yeah, I remember like late 80s, early 90s. Probably till about mid 90s they stopped selling them. But I remember we used to get them all the time. The two tacos too, they were like $1 forever. Remember that, two tacos for $1? They were like that forever, bro. For years, they were two for $1. A lot of people don't remember when Burger King used to have tacos too. They were pretty good too. They still do in some Burger Kings, but yeah, the monster tacos. But Burger King used to have tacos back in the days. The monster tacos were bomb. I remember those big ass tacos. Big oven. My sister had one. I never had one. I had a Barbie doll. Yeah, Taco Bell. Hell yeah, the one I remember when it was the original Taco Bell. Remember that LZ when it was like a like a small Taco Bell you walk up to, and then they tore it down and built the one that's there now. It used to be a Taco Bell and there used to be a Pizza Hut. I don't know if anybody remembers a Pizza Hut that used to be there back in the days. Pizza has a kid. I remember my sister used to like this cartoon. She had the toys too. It was called Gem. You remember that? Anybody remember that cartoon? JEM. Danny. I remember Lions, but I don't remember if no, Denny's was around when I was a kid. I remember Denny's and Lions. As far as I can remember, Denny's were Denny's and Lions were Lions. Yeah, they had one in Alameda, and where did they have another one? There was a few of them around back in the days. Sizzler, remember they used to have hella Sizzlers back in the days? Yeah, they had IHOP, Baker Square. I do remember Baker Square, yep. Yeah, IHOP was around back then. International House of Pancakes. Oh yeah, I remember Fresh Choice. Yep, I remember those. Remember there used to be that buffet too. What was it called? They were everywhere. It was a famous buffet. Yeah, I remember Caro's, Olive Garden, Southland was in Lions. Was it? I think I remember that. Chuck E. Cheese in Hayward is still there. Yeah, I remember Mary Callender's too. Yep. Yeah, Fresh Choice. I remember those. Hometown Buffet. There you go. Yep. Thank you, young widget. Yeah, Hometown Buffet. I remember there used to be a lot of those around the Bay Area and in Sacramento, and they all closed. Those were hella popular. I remember going to those. There was also one called JJ Nord's. You guys ever been to that one? They had one in Sac, and they used to have one in Concord, and I think they used to have one somewhere in the East Bay. I can't remember where. Yep, Fridays, TGIFs. I don't remember the Kmart in San Mateo, but I remember the one in San Leandro and in Hayward. There was one in Daly City or Coma, right? Kmart. I think I've been to that one. Close to Ceremony. Kmart was the shit when I was a kid, bro. Oh yeah, Price Club. Yeah, I remember those. Kmart, like before Walmart, bro. Kmart's where everybody went, bro. Everybody went to Kmart. Yeah, in Coma, I'd been to that Kmart when it was there many years ago. I was there at Hometown Buffet open in the mid '90s in San Leandro. Yeah, there was one in the. Wasn't there a Hometown Buffet in the Southland Mall too at one point, if I remember? Shakey's. I remember seeing those in Sacramento. I can't remember. Did Bay Area have Shakey's? Shortcuts. Was there a Shakey's in Oakland? I want to say there was, but I could be wrong. I don't remember very well. Chevy's at Bayfair. Remember that? Also, Chili's is at what Bayfair, I think. Mr. Chow's. I remember that. That was the place in Hayward, wasn't it? San Jose too. Had one on King of Story. Shakey's, yeah. I want to say there were some in the East Bay too. Not as many though. I remember Shakey's. There was a lot of them in Sacramento when I lived out there. Yeah, Mr. Childs used to be right by Southland. Yeah, I remember going there a couple of times. Casper's, yep. Casper's with a K and Casper's with a C. Yeah, I didn't grow up in the San Jose area, so I'm not as familiar with that area of what was out there. But I'm sure a lot of businesses that were out here were out there too. And the reason I know Sacramento because I lived there for a couple of years, so I do remember some of the businesses that were out there too. But yeah, man, Pioneer Chicken, I remember those. Those started fading out in the '90s. I remember we had them. I remember in Oakland they used to have Pioneer Chicken when I was a kid. There used to be one in the Deep, and there used to be one right there where Popeyes is on 70. What's that, like 71st and East 14th? There used to be one in West Oakland too on West Grand. Pioneer's Chicken, right on West Grand and Market. That used to be a Pioneer's Chicken. Yeah, we had KFC. Hell yeah. Did they have one on Mission? Did they have a Pioneer's Chicken on Mission? Where a Mission in SF or Mission in Hayward? Probably. What about Winchell's Donuts? You guys remember those? Yeah, I don't remember a Pioneer Chicken in SF. I'm sure they had them though. I'm not saying they didn't. I remember them in Oakland though for sure when I was a kid. They had a few of them, but they all closed around the '90s. Like early mid '90s, they started closing them down. They had one in Sacramento too when I lived up there on Franklin. Winchell's Donuts, yep. Yum Yum, yeah, they got Yum Yum Donuts in Sacramento. They got Yum Yum Donuts where in San Jose. Never seen them out there, but maybe they got them. Yeah, Winchell's, those used to be all over the place in Oakland, Alameda, San Francisco. I remember there was one in the Mission on 23rd and Mission. There used to be the one in Alameda, Winchell's Donuts, right there in the shopping center. The one across the Fruitvale Bridge on Blanding. On Fruitvale, too, there used to be a Winchell's Donuts. Yeah, I remember Thrifty's drugstore, yeah. They all became Rite Aid and Payless drugstore. Hey, thanks, Cabrona. Thanks for the super chat. If you guys want to donate a super chat, be sure. Gracias. Doggy Diner. Hell yeah, I remember Doggy Diner. Yep, there used to be a Doggy Diner on 98. There used to be one in on Fruitvale near on East 14 near Fruitvale. There used to be one in downtown Oakland. Yeah, Doggy Diner was the shit. I remember there used to be one on 23rd in Richmond too, 23rd in McDonald. I remember going there with my dad a couple times. We came out to Richmond. We stopped there to eat when I was hella little. Woolworths, Krusty Krab? Nah, I don't remember anything. Krusty, no. Was that a real place, Julio? Or is that from a cartoon? Woolworths. I remember Woolworths. They had those everywhere. Remember, there used to be one in the Mission, too, on 23rd and Mission. There used to be a Woolworths. The Krusty Krab. Yeah, man. My mom used to like Woolworths. Yeah, there used to be one South Shore, and there used to be one in Eastmont Mall. I think there used to be one at the MB Mall too in North Oakland, and there used to be one in oh, SpongeBob. I never watched SpongeBob. There used to be one in downtown Sacramento too, a big ass one on K Street. Oh yeah, quarter pound giant burger. I still like going there. The one in San Hayward's pretty good. Not Gary Bell. I think those were only in San Leandro and Hayward. I don't think we ever had one in Oakland. Yeah, but Giant Burger, hell yeah. I used to go to that used to be my spot. There's still a couple of them in Oakland. They're not as good as they used to be. I like the one in Hayward. That one still kind of has the old school taste. No, I never tried Shake Shack. I know there's one in downtown Oakland. I heard of it. I think there's one in it's Emeryville too. Yeah, there's still a few. There's a Foster's Freeze in Pinole. I've been there. You know, there used to be a Foster's Freeze on Hangenberger where it's I think it's called Chubby Freeze. That used to be a Foster's Freeze in the 80s and early 90s. Orale, yeah, I've never been to Shake Shack. I heard of it. Yeah, Chubby Freeze. You don't remember when that was a Foster's Freeze shortcuts? That was a Foster's Freeze when I was a kid. And when I was a teenager, like early 90s, it was still Foster's Freeze until about right mid 90s, they changed it to Chubby Freeze. Barney? No, I don't remember that. Remember when we were kids, like when you were a kid in the 80s? Remember, I remember as a kid in the 80s, the grocery stores, they used to have those little things at the front of the grocery stores and you put change and you buy candy or something. You guys remember those things? Leave in the comments if you remember those things. That was in the 80s when I was a little kid. But I remember the one with Fred Flintstone, and they used to have eggs. Remember that? And the egg had something inside of it. And then you would put the quarter in and push the thing, and Fred would go, yeah, but that but do. Yeah, but that but do. And it would spin around and it would give you an egg. Remember those? Best giant burger. Yeah, those. Hell yeah. Malibu Grand Prix, yep. 37th, that was my spot, bro. Fanbo. I used to go to that giant burger all the time when I was there. I used to kick it there sometimes too. Just chill. I used to kick it right in front of there sometimes. Shortcuts. You never see me kicking it in front of the giant burger back in the days. I used to kick it there sometimes, just fucking around. Half fool said that's old school. Right, the horse that meet up Montes. Did they have a horse there? I don't remember. I remember the horses though in front of grocery stores back in the days. The ones that would spin or the ones that would like go back and forth. Yeah, Lucky is the the Oak Tree Arcade downtown. I think I remember that spot. Yeah, Lucky's. I remember that. And then it became Albertsons, and then now it was Mi Pueblo, and now it's Cadenas. What about Fambo or anybody LZ or anybody? You guys are old enough to remember Food Farm? It was in the Dubs, right across the street from Jack in the Box. Where those apartments are. That used to be a grocery store right next to McDonald's. You know what I mean? I was a grocery store, and I remember they used to have video games in the front. We would always play video games there all the time. Yeah, Church's Chicken on High Street. Yeah, Food Farm. If you guys remember that spot, it was a little grocery store that used to be right there on the in the Dubs. My mom used to always go to that grocery store. Yeah, they had probably just tore it down, shortcuts at that time, but it was there. It was there till about the early 90s. All kinds of games, bro. Pac-Man, uh, Spy Hunter, uh, Rolling Thunder. I remember playing hella games back then. Yeah, across the street from Jack and Standard Grimes. Yep, right next to where the apartments are, right next to McDonald's. That was a grocery store. Space Invaders. Yep. Oh, you know where else I used to go play video games? At the Round Table in Alameda, the one across the Fruitvale Bridge, where Blanding is. Remember the Round Table there? They used to always have the good video games there. Cali Moore Paints, yep. It was right across the street from there. And remember in the parking lot of Food Farm, some Mexican dude used to post up there and sell like hats and like uh he used to sell hats, or he would sell like artesanias, like piggy banks and like saints like made out of clay. Remember that back in the days, right in front of Food Farm. I remember this dude. He used to post up there and sell stuff. Yeah, the Round Table in Alameda used to be popular back in the days. They used to have all the video games there. Yeah, man, good old memories. But yeah, man, Oakland Latinos United, like I said, as a project, it's been around 21 years since 2003, bro. I've been doing this historical research. I'm not doing it as much, but I'm still doing the channel, still doing the IG and the Facebook. So, yep. Which one? Oh yeah, I think the housing authority still uses it. 2-1, eh? I did have a rat tail for a little bit when I was younger. I did grow one from colors. 2-1, eh? Yeah, I think the housing authority and the sheriff, they still use that building. Yeah, that's been there forever. You're right. Right next to the that annoying ass fucking kitchen place. I hate that place. You know, the place where they have the pollo campero, that place sucks. I hate picking up food there, bro. They got two of them. They got one there and they got one in Emeryville, Adeline. Ah, those places suck, bro. I hate picking up stuff there. I wouldn't order nothing from there as weird as they act, bro. It's really unorganized. Have you tried the pollo campero there? I never tried it. I never really wanted to get none from there because it's just like they're so unorganized there, bro. Camel Joe, yeah, I remember that. I remember the cigarette, Marlboro and Camel cigarette advertisements everywhere back in the days, and Newport too. They got one in Emeryville too. Yeah, yeah, I remember Wieners. They had two at one point. They closed both of them. All right, y'all. Well, it's been an hour. I just wanted to tap in live with Jay just to say what's up to y'all. I'm about to get off. I'm hella hungry too. I'm gonna go eat something. But yeah, it's 2-1, eh? 2-1 on the park on Webster. Yeah, they closed both of them, bro. There used to be one on Park and one on Webster. The one on Webster closed recently. It was still there just like about a year ago. But yeah, man, I don't know why they closed it, but yeah, man, I just want to tap in and just talk about the history of Oakland Latinos United, and just want to chill with you guys. It's Tuesday. Today's my day off, my day to kick it. Want to go get some food. I'm kind of hungry. I'll talk to you guys later. You guys be safe. All right, y'all. Shortcut, Fambo, and Julio Solorio, and everybody else, Chris Grima, and everybody else who was on here, man, supporting Fambo and Northbound, and everybody else. You guys be safe. All right, y'all. Late, and thanks to Cabrona for the super chat. That's dope. All right, y'all. Be safe, late.